What's going on, everybody?
I can't.
Welcome to... This is fucked up. Welcome to the United Stand. Marshall didn't score. If you're wondering, if you clicked on thinking, what the hell is KG doing? Marshall didn't back me, and now I look like a prat. But anyway, let's just drop a bomb and let's get straight into... I can't believe it. Guys, this is me with hair.
Wow. I'm liking it, KG. I think you can pull that off, you know.
The piss. I'm hot. My head's hot. Everything is. But anyway, we got to talk about the game because it was another exciting, exhilarating game. Did we draw our last game as well? Was it?
No. Yeah, no.
Shit.
It's been a great week.
Oh my god! Did someone say just eat right now? Okay, who am I gonna go to? Jay, you know what? Kick us off, bro. This is not first of all, as well.
KG, first of all, can I say I want to commend you on your 1970s porn star look. 10 out of 10. Okay, to the game. Guys, I'm going to start off with something I've said in the show many times. I've said no guts, no desire, no glory. Well, that seems to be the bywords of this team. It's coming from the board. There was no desire from the board to invest over the last couple of seasons to make us into a title challenging team, let alone a title winning team. No guts on behalf of the manager to make changes to the squad if and when they're needed. No desire from the manager to bring on subs when they're needed, and it's manifested on the pitch. We drew to Chelsea 0-0 twice, Man City once, and Liverpool once, and again it's also during the week. Today, guys, look, we've said it time and time again. You start with McFred in midfield on front of the two busted sofas. You know what you're going to get. You're going to get absolutely no creativity whatsoever. We didn't deserve to win that game. I know we're going to go into great detail about the penalty decision that was but wasn't. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't have to be basing our whole discussion on a penalty decision that we didn't get. We simply did not create any chances inside our box for 90 minutes. Therefore, we didn't deserve to win. Solskjaer set for a draw. Tuchel, in the second half, he made tactical changes. He went for the win. And I think, barring that excellent David De Gea save, apart from that, guys, that's the highlight of the game. Oh, and we can't forget Fred. I think Fred discovered his position route today. Did you guys see his attempted step overs on front of their box in the first half? And then in the second half, he was doing these little FIFA rolls, we'll call them. I think he may have done. I think he may have
so
done
many times.
I think what happened to Fred during the week, he must have heard us. I think he must have went onto this website where they trace your DNA. And he said, Jesus, fuck me, I'm actually Brazilian.
Listen, Marsh, anyway, who am I going to go to next? Let's just, hold on, there's a super chat. Someone, let's go. It's Bill in it. It has to be Bill. What's he said? There you go. Kevin, looking different today. But I don't know what. That's to you, Kev. Fuck's sake. How long have I got? No, but the time is going so slowly. Let's go to Jack, though. Jack, the floor is yours.
Well, can I just say first, KG, just like Jay said, you're looking absolutely stunning. I think you look so much better, like, with hair than without. I think it suits you down to the ground. No, I'm taking the piss. No, the game. I just want to quickly just touch on, because obviously, you know, we're going to talk about the penalty and stuff. That Fred shot that nearly went in the top corner, I honestly, I've never seen Fred hit a ball so sweetly. Like, and that's saying something for Fred. When Mendy was just sprawling, and I just thought, if this goes in, I don't know what, like, it would just be utter chaos. But
we need to celebrate.
Even Solskjaer was laughing.
I was outrageous. But yeah, in terms of the team news, I was encouraged to see McTominay play, but he just wasn't really at it today. I think he'd just come back kind of rushed in too quickly. We miss Cavani so much, going forward, leading the line. I think Dan James struggled to quite kind of get into the game. And as for Maguire and Lindelof, I think Lindelof made a good block off Werner in the second half, which was a really good clearance.
There's that little clearance that he had where I don't know if it should have went out for a corner, but they said he didn't touch it. But that was I think I do agree with what Jay said again. I think the mentality is that I just think Ollie's almost like, we'll take a point at Chelsea. And the difference is the Man Cities, the Liverpools who want to go and win the Premier League, they win these types of games. And our mentality at 70 minutes is just, it's a draw. We'll take a point, move on. But we've got to be winning these games. We're 12 points behind City. Any talk of the title, which I've seen on social media, is just utter nonsense. I think we just need to stop with that now. Like getting top 4 is just paramount. But yeah, another disappointing kind of display, even though I think first half we pressed them quite high up the pitch, but we didn't create anything. Like of note. Obviously, that Giroud chance they had in the first half, on another day, he puts that in and we're 1-0 down. And yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about the penalty. But yeah, I'm just disappointed because I think Chelsea were proper there for the taking and we could have won that game. All right. Hold on. Let me just get through some of these super chats. Van der Beek needs to come on, but Ollie has him on. Hold on. Let's just make that bigger. Ollie has him on strength and conditioning course. We had Tellez, Van der Beek, Diallo. They could have changed the game because the game was there for the taking. Yeah, there's some. We need to talk about Ollie today and how he managed that game. There we go. We got another one. KG, please put some respect on Dan James and Mason today. I'm sick of Magaluf centre back partnership. KG should go on RuPaul's Drag Race. It's coming up soon. I've got a few minutes, 8 minutes. Karen G, dickhead.
Useless. Useless.
I blame Jay, and he knew what he was doing. He knew I was going to take the bet. Here we go. 1 second. Let's go to. I've always wanted to do this though. Let me not lie. Oh shit, I can't put it behind my ear. All right, listen. I got my headphones on. There you go.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do that, Alex. Over to you, bro.
Yeah. Overall, I didn't think we were as bad as some people was making out. It's just another case of like not taking the chances. But I thought the main takeaway was today is how much we missed both Pogba and Cavani. Like people say, about Ollie's changes, which maybe he could have brought on Van der Beek as the one who I was thinking for maybe McTominay, because like Jack said, he wasn't really at the races, which isn't his fault because he wasn't 100%. But I looked at the bench and I was thinking like, oh God, if we don't actually get a winner with the players on the pitch, I'm kind of worried because I had no faith in Ollie taking a risk and putting Ahmed on. So it was only and massively out of form. Martial's the only player we really could have brought on that could change the game. And he obviously did come on. He wasn't that great. He gave the ball away quite a bit. But likewise, the whole, like our main 2 goal scorers this season, Rashford and Bruno, in my opinion, were probably our worst 2 players today. So, and it's just that when both of them 2 don't turn up, it just shows that we're massively lacking in depth. But like I said, it's mainly an injury issue. I think it could have been a completely different game with Pogba and Cavani playing. And that penalty decision, I've been arguing about it on WhatsApp. I was so pissed off.
What's it a pen? Let's just agree as a group.
Yeah. People say it's a natural position. How is that a natural arm position? It's an absolute joke, because the thing that pisses me off is that I know if that was the other way around, that they give it against us. So
and Alex, did you hear the Luke Shaw comments after the game about apparently the ref gave the pen, but it was controversial to over.
Yeah, he said to Harry Maguire that I can't give it because otherwise people will be talking about it after the game. So that just shows that he let the players get to him. And that's another thing that I was arguing with my Chelsea mate about, how Hudson-Odoi is standing right behind the ref, mouthing off, which number 1 isn't even allowed, and for that exact reason that he's clearly influencing him.
There you go. Kev, over to you, bro. How did you see today's game? And I'm going to ask you the Dan James question that I've been asking for a while. Is he the answer to the right-hand side? Listen, Kev, the floor's yours, bro.
Yeah. Well, I was keeping with the comments, obviously, about yourself. I'll say you're looking really well. And if you took the beard off, I definitely would. I don't like bearded women. So
Useless. Absolutely useless.
In touch with the game. Do you know what? I'm going to go off what Alex was going to say then, because I know we probably weren't going to talk about the penalty decision, but I mean, what is VAR for? And I know we've had a lot of calls for it, but if the referee misses that and then VAR are in his ear to say, listen, you need to go and have a look at this. I just cannot believe he's gone, had a look at it. And like Alex said, you got Hudson-Odoi, Azpilicueta as well. Both stood more or less watching it with him in his ear. It's honestly, VAR, I do not understand what it's for. It's taken away so much about football.
Yeah.
I sit with my son and watch it, right? And I'll tell you honestly, I cannot remember the last time that I celebrated a goal, because the goal goes in and you're in that fear for about 2 or 3 minutes where you think, was it offside? Are they going to pull it back for something? And then the moment's gone, ruining football in a way. But listen, it's 0-0. What could you say positives today? Sorry, go on, KJ. What have you seen?
I'm just seeing a madness. Someone said, "Yeah, KG."
What?
Thank you. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Let's quickly get through these. Flex ain't gonna see it. I've got like a couple more minutes. What, 3-4 minutes? There you go. I don't think Ollie is the answer anymore. Actually, who am I gonna? Jay, just to stir things up, because today was boring, and I'm gonna be stirring the pot. We've let ourselves down in a lot of big games. We got a lot of draws. Do you still believe that Ollie's the answer? And I'm gonna throw that question out to Jack as well.
Okay, we all agreed after getting knocked out of Champions League as a group that we would give Ollie the benefit of the doubt until May, I should say. But it seems, guys, every week we're giving him the benefit of doubt on some decision. I think his decision making is flawed. He has been proven time and time again to be tactically inept when he comes up against a tactical street manager. Like, come on, Big Sam Allardyce out-taught Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Just let that sit in the free seats for a second. Big Sam out-tactic Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
But
That's
there's
an
been loads
indictment
of
on
times
your...
when Ollie's out-tactic Pep, he's out-tactic Jose, he's out-tactic Tuchel in the past against PSG.
Alex, I love it because this is going to be a big discussion here. Look, I'm not officially Ollie out yet. However, as soon as we are out of the top 4 race, which, let's be fair, guys, we keep going to where we are. Could be less than 6 weeks. I think if that happens, if he goes out of the top 4 race, fails to win the FA Cup, there will be questions to be answered for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's got 1 year left in his contract, so the board, come May, have to either renew his contract or sack him. No manager goes into their last year of the contract. It's just not done in football.
But do you not think on that? Because I was thinking about that in the past, of like that no manager normally would. But because he's like a club legend, he probably would be happy with it to just go in another 12 months, and then we have risk free. If he fails, we have to pay no money to sack him.
I'm actually delighted you brought up that point, Alex. It's a great point. I think we are giving Solskjaer the benefit of the doubt over and over again, only because he is unquestionably a club legend. If he was a manager that had no affiliation with the club, would we be even saying, after the results we've had since Christmas, his team selection and his in-game management, would we be giving him the benefit of the doubt as much as we are? I don't think we would. Back to you, Alex. What do you think?
Before you come back, hold your point. Flex, you okay?
He's not going to be able to talk.
Nah, the fringe.
It's Jay. Anyway, I've got a couple minutes. Oh no, it's my internet gone.
No, we can see you.
Carry on.
Go on. Back to Alex.
I understand your point, but number one, and I'm not trying to be an apologist, I think like long term, maybe like tactically, he won't be the person to win us the Premier League, win us the Champions League. But I feel like he is building something good. So he does, if we actually get top 4, and I think we should really be aiming for a trophy this season as well. but to build on. And then next season is when he'll be fully judged that he has to be challenging for the league, because that's when we assume if he's actually back, which to be fair, I don't think he was back to this last summer. So let's say hypothetically he is actually back to this summer and he gets the right winger, he gets a centre back. Gets
agreed. I don't agreed. I don't believe in the last transfer window that he was backed. He definitely wasn't back last summer, no question about it. But go back to today. Just take today as a little example. He dropped Martial. Fair enough. Whether you're Martial FC or not, I believe Martial should have been dropped. But you drop Martial, then why the hell do you bring him on with 2 minutes to go? He's not going to give you anything. You know what you want to get from Martial in his current form. That's not a whole lot. So why the hell do you bring him on? You've got Danny Van de Beek sitting on the bench. Matomali, look at guys, we all love Matomali here, but he's just back from injury. Plus, Fred's on a yellow card. So the clear substitution today was to get Fred off and bring on Van de Beek. It's not
it was
rocket
against
science.
Tuchel as well that Fred got sent off.
Yeah, exactly.
Flex, I'm going to bring you into this debate.
What have I missed? I heard a ding ding.
So basically, we've had a lot of draws, and the question is Ollie? Someone asked in the super chats if Ollie's still the man for this job. Yeah. Now I'm going to go to you and answer. At the moment, Jay, I'm trying to ascertain what you're saying. Are you saying basically if we don't finish in the top 4, he's not the man? But currently, is that what you're saying?
I believe if he gets top 4, they'll probably give him a 2-year contract, because the board themselves will not want to have to replace Pogba, possibly replace Martial, sign a CDM, sign a centre back, and get a manager. That's 5 things they have to do in the summertime. He's not. Plus the Euros are on.
No,
so out of those 5,
I'm not asking,
those 5 elements, the board will do 2. And if he doesn't get top 4, I think they'll probably even stay with him at that point. I personally wouldn't, but I think the board will stay with him.
That's the question I'm asking. I'm asking, what would you guys do? So if he doesn't, currently, you're still happy with him, though, Jay, until we see what happens with the top 4.
I'm definitely not happy. Definitely not happy. No way, not happy at all.
Okay.
But back to Alex's point, Alex said that he wasn't given the tools he needed last August. He wasn't given a backup centre back he needed in January. So there are mitigating circumstances. For me, if Ole finishes 5th or 6th, for me, it's P45. But I don't see the board sacking no matter what, personally.
Wow. Flex, what do you say to that?
Yeah, did we read all these super chats here before they start?
Yeah, no, go on. Let's go for it.
Let me just do the super chats and then I'll have my say on that for sure. Boogeyman says, guys, Ollie was protecting second place in my opinion. We all know Man City is going to win the title. This was a must-win Chelsea game. Plus the players are tired. So interesting way of looking at that there. We'll talk about the positives of this result as well. Abjit says Tony was awful for the first 77 minutes. Rashford and Greenwood showing him how it's done. McTominay, the Scottish Sedan, the irony and sarcasm in that. The Don Dada says KG looks like Dennis from the Square. If she let Denise from the Square. Denise from EastEnders, you know. Wow. Mahir says Ollie trying for new contract. No second will get it. Kind of touching what Jay's saying there, that if he finishes in certain positions, he's definitely safe. Kevin Moore says Ollie seems to love a good draw. Shows too much respect to the other top 6 sides. Absolute shambles. There's one here from Key, and there's loads of super chats here, guys. So disgusting. This is not Man United, says AJ Singh. A lot of people are not happy with today's result. There's a lot more here. Hold on a sec. Nicholas says Jose won a trophy. Remember, as boring as his football was, and he finished second. This is what you got. This is the realm of what we got to start going into, of what is progression and what isn't. That's just a fact. I'm not talking about the football.
2 different seasons, but
2 different seasons. But if we finish second, miles off the top, which looks like that could happen.
Yeah, then it's the same.
And then we get a trophy. It's exactly the same. You know?
But Jose got. They're saying that, but Jose got like the following season after that. So it's not like it's.
Yeah.
It's not like we sacked Jose for that.
No, that's true. That's true. I hear what you're saying. Yaz United says, I'd rather not lose to the top 6 and beat everyone else. To do what we did last season, beat City twice, beat Chelsea twice, and lose to Burnley 3-0 than do that. Sorry. So yeah, because basically there's just a bit of a shift. There's loads of super chats here, guys. Hold on. Dane Grayson says, if people want to watch us beat Premier League trash every week and snore fest football against big clubs, then I'm concerned. I'm done personally. So Dane's out. Wants Ollie to go.
Wow.
Josh D says, just rewinded the video to see KG wearing a wig. What the F? Yeah, your computer screen is not lying to you. And Boogeyman says, big up to De Gea. He saved us from embarrassment. Big save from De Gea today.
De Gea saves.
Big save. We'll get onto that. And I've read that one. And Boogeyman says, KG, the LGBT community welcomes you.
Yeah. Big welcome.
Big up. Dave says, back to what you asked me, KG, and then I'll fling it to everyone else. I think what we're seeing consistently with Ollie in certain situations is the ceiling. And the ceiling, when I say that, I mean, Ollie, I will not ever slag off Ollie in terms of saying he hasn't done a good job. He's improved us from last season in terms of the points. He's progressed us in certain areas, 100%. But there are these limitations that I keep seeing they're not just a one-off. They're not just, that just happened and then we rectify it. It's a consistent theme, which is, can we kick on from here to there? And my glass is always half full. Like, don't get me wrong. So really, we kept a clean sheet. We were difficult to beat. I like that the fullbacks were really high up today. We said to Maguire and Lindelof, you know what? You're playing against Giroud. He's not quick. You lot look after him. I'm sending Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka to go look after Chilwell and to go look after Hudson-Odoi. Stop them. And they did do that. We defended really well. But I think it's a limitation in Ollie's management style because he's just not at that level yet, in my opinion, that to transfer that compactness and organisation to then transferring it into meaningful possession, going the other way, he's struggling to find that balance. And I'm not 100% convinced that he can find that on a consistent basis. So like last year, we did well. We went to City twice, won. Went to Chelsea twice, won. Didn't beat Arsenal, didn't beat Liverpool, didn't beat Spurs. I want to say we might beat them once.
We did beat them once, I think.
We beat them once.
Oh no, 1-0. Sorry, 1.
1-1, and then I think the first one at our place was a draw as well. I think.
No, we beat them 2-1.
Or did we beat them?
What was the one where Rashford scored?
Rashford scored.
We beat them 2-1. We beat them the first one. Anyway, what I'm saying is it was tight, and what we're seeing is a reverse in this is that we can't get a result against the bigger teams, and we're kind of taking care of our business against the other team. So he has to find an equilibrium. But just when you just look at how we play, to not get anything out of Bruno, Rashford, Martial, Pogba when he plays in these type of games, that's a big concern for me. That's a big concern. That's my thing.
Wow. All right. Actually, let's go to Kev. I'm going to ask you this: do you think Bruno is this an agenda, or does Bruno really fade in the big games?
I think that teams are probably, and it's taken a while, that they know that if you stop Bruno Fernandes, you stop Manchester United. I think that was a classic example of it today. Yes, he's off his game, but if you cut him out, if you can man mark him, frustrate him, you know he's got a temper, if you can play off that, he's off his game. And that Manchester United do not flow the same. You need that piece of brilliance from Fernandes. When he's off it, you know, we're all over the place. We know he's been the conductor of the orchestra, which is Manchester United, since he signed for that club. We would not be where we are now. But what was going to say on Fernandes? Sorry, go on, Flex.
No, sorry. I thought you forgot what you were going to say, so I was going to help you.
Yeah,
wow.
Go on. That's because I keep reading these comments as they're coming up. This is random. That is.
Jack, see you next. So coming to you.
No, sweet, boys. It's sweet. All in your own time, boys. All in your own time. It's all right. Carry on, Kev. So I'm used to just chilling on the bench on the sideline. Instead, can we talk about Jack's agenda against De Gea instead? Can I stir the pot?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
It's a quality save. De Gea played. I'm not got an agenda against David De Gea. I'm not on about Dean Henderson playing over him. We're just gonna props to De Gea, props for the clean sheet. And I thought defensively, as I say, Lindelof we all have a go at Lindelof, but I thought, his clearance, especially the Werner clearance in the second half was positive to see. But yeah, what do you want me to talk now, KG, or like?
Yeah, go on. The floor is yours. Wait. So the question I'm going to ask you is: do you think that you have it's in your hands?
Rah. Sorry, no. So I'm just reading.
Nah, go on. Yeah, carry on.
All right, cool. So everyone, the decisions are in your hands. We're not talking about what the club will do because there's so many things that we want the club to do that they're not going to do. So there's no point going on about that. Jack, you're in control. Would you keep Ollie in the job?
You have to look at for me, I think there's a lot that Jay said that is, especially Jay's point, that is correct. Like, he needs to be given another window to be backed. But you just got to look this season. I'm basing it off this season. Our record against the top six. We haven't beaten any of the teams. We have got 5 0-0 draws, so 5 clean sheets. But as Flex said, in terms of that end point, that ceiling, like, can we go and beat these teams? I know we've proven it last City and other games where we've come out and pressed teams, but I think especially when Bruno's not on it and when Pogba's not playing, I think we just miss that creativity altogether. And I do think Ollie does have to take, obviously injuries come into it, but Ollie does have to take some brute of the kind of tactical way he goes about these games. Because I honestly think today, after about 60 minutes, I think he was just, 0-0. It's a clean sheet. We'll take it, move on. And I think it will kind of be the same mentality against City next week. I do worry. And I am a bit concerned about, if we do finish outside the top 4 and don't win a trophy, I honestly think the board will keep him on. I think Ollie's the long-term project. I don't.
So I haven't given my feedback on this game today.
Just quickly, sorry, there's loads of super chats. One sec, and then we'll come to you, KG. Vignesh Ram says, that was a sleep fest. We can't keep playing like this in big games. Do Liverpool, Man City go to big games and change their tactics to play defensive? Mid-game subs non-existent. He has a 90-minute game plan, which he doesn't change. The Boogeyman says, you can't expect Bruno to shine playing next to McFred. Put Pogba next to him and we can talk. DK says, Bruno has no chance when our tactics are to shield and protect the centre-backs. It's a disgrace to put the blame on Bruno. He suffers because the players around him. Nana says, like I've said in my last couple of super chats, Ollie and or his coaching staff just don't cut it. Unfortunately, the fans love him too much to see it. Interesting there. Basically saying that sentiment is coming into it and we're getting clouded by what's really going on. Ibrahim says, love how Bruno gets the excuses Pogba never got. Either way, I wouldn't blame both for wanting to leave. Look at Kevin De Bruyne at Man City and the team around him. Alex says, everyone keeps saying this team is talented enough to kick on. Teams are marking Bruno out of the game too easily. It's either our tactics or the team. And the newest member of the United Star Members Club is Nicholas inside the place. Big up Nicholas. 100%. The Boogeyman, we've read that one, and Nana, we've read that one.
There's some more at the bottom as well. Hold on, there we go.
Baz 10. As a team, we can't pass. I like Fred and McTominay is a good squad. I like Fred and McTominay is a good squad player, but they can't pass. Honestly, that was painful to watch. That happened a lot. We got into McTominay on a half term, could start a counter attack, loses possession. Fred actually arriving in decent positions. Don't want him there. He's not good in that third of the pitch. He's just not.
Here we go. Did you read this Boogeyman one? He said, when did Ollie ever have a complete team, guys?
Exactly.
You can't judge him yet. And then someone else says, Lebogang says, Sister KG, the aunt of Lindy and Mary of the back four and Liberty. He's probably talking about me in a wig. Is there any more? That's it. So this is what I want to say, actually. Because there's a few things that my one critique for Ollie. There you go. Yeah,
until we ask the hard questions about the quality of our attack with Rashford, etc., we may never get past this. Almost there, but not quite phase, says Shaw. That is exactly well. And DJ Marshall says Luke Shaw did a post-match interview in the US and said the ref told them he couldn't give a pen because the reaction it would cause.
That is disgusting.
I don't know if that's true.
That's true.
He said it to Sky.
Yeah. Excuse me?
He said to Sky after there'd be too much backlash if the pen was given and the ref was actually going to give the pen. Yeah, to Maguire.
100%. Ollie heard it as well. And this is there's things to discuss. And I liked Ollie today because he got a bit prickly at the end. And you know, when Ollie gets prickly, something good might happen. When he said they're never going to do that to us again, we went on a good run. You know what I mean? So hopefully he's fired up and he creates a siege mentality. Now, my critique for Ollie today is this. Dan James has played himself into the team. He's had 2 good performances. He's got into the team. Now, if Ollie has that same way of thinking, surely Bailly has played himself into the team. Very true. Or we can go with and then he gets into because I've always thought Ollie would be someone that'll play someone on merit. Yeah, Van der Beek has had some good performances and not played himself into the team. So it feels a bit weird for me to see that
favorites.
It works for Ollie in this position, but not in the others. I don't understand how Bailly is dropped. Even he was the one that we was talking about. The one highlight we had from that game the other day was Bailly dropping the shoulder and making the striker look rubbish. So how does Bailly get dropped? Is the biggest question that I have.
Dan James played right today, though.
No, Dan James. No, I'm not saying
okay.
Dan James should start. I'm not arguing that. I'm saying that if he has the eye to look at Dan James and say, you know what, you've earned your start. So go and you can play. I like
should
that.
Be the same.
But the fact that you say, then why does that not exist for Bailly? Why does that not exist for Donny van der Beek? Maybe you can say Donny van der Beek he hasn't done enough to really get into the team, and that's fair. I will agree. But Bailly should be starting. So that's a big issue for me on that case. The one thing that I can say that is good is Ollie has finally spoken up. He didn't want to say Klopp's name today, which I was a bit disappointed with. But he said a lot of people have been talking about the penalties we win.
Oh, is that what he said?
And because of that, now there's blatant penalties 100%. That we're not getting.
That has actually happened ever since Klopp said that.
Ever since nobody said it was Lampard, he actually dropped one name, but he didn't want to say because Lampard's out of the game. It was a
he can drop it now. He can drop it.
Mourinho's done it as well.
Mourinho, there's so many players that have said it, and it's affecting the game. It's affecting the decisions they get.
Well, normally we get big club bias, but look,
Then he said that something must have happened on Chelsea's website because they put some VAR thing up about Maguire and stuff, and then I was like, wow, like he's seen that. And that he said there's people that are trying to like change the case of the game. I think that's wrong. But then where we can say there's parts you can say, look, the team plays on Thursday and it plays on the Sunday. The boys were tired. McTominay just come back. If McTominay whips that ball we went 4 against 1 on the final run. That ball got to us, and then we hit it. We're not having this conversation.
That's criminal, by the way. That's criminal.
But he's injured. He's not injured, but he's his first game back. Now, Ollie
was criminal.
Where Ollie needs to take some accountability is, I agree with Jay, you got to make a change. I said from the 75th minute, McTominay's not running the way he usually runs in tackles. He's tired. And we didn't change anything. Does that mean he doesn't trust? That's the question.
Don't trust Donny to come into that area. Go on, Alex.
You're talking about fatigue and like how I said before about Rashford and Bruno being off the pace and stuff. But it shows, again, what we said the other day on the show. Why the hell did we play such a strong team against Sociedad when we're 4-0 up at home? Yeah. And we played like basically our full-strength team. It makes no sense. I have no clue why we did that. And then now, if they were a bit leggy, and Bruno clearly was, and it just makes no sense. It was such a non-starter. I don't get why Ahmad didn't start in that game. We're not going to throw a 4-0 lead. They had to score 5 to beat us at Old Trafford, which with Bailly playing as well, the chance of that happening was so low. So it's just ridiculous. We could have been up against like a Bayern Munich or a Man City or someone, and we're not going to concede 5.
James Belly Visual says James continued to game runs like this. His numbers will be the same as Rashford. If he continues to play, his numbers will be the same as Rashford. He's basically saying that James played well.
James looked James looked brilliant today. Actually, I have to say that his work rate today was incredible.
Is he? And because we were playing quite an intense pressing game, he's actually very integral to that. If you actually look, as soon as that ball got kind of played to Rudiger from the keeper, he's on his way straight away, like every single time throughout the whole game. Yaz United says, yesterday Pep fielded a team in which 8 out of 11 players was players he signed. Today for United, 4 out of 11 was players Ollie signed. There's a difference. So basically saying let Ollie get his players, and we'll live to see.
Saying that the Ollie did sign Maguire though, that was a mad signing. Still, like, oh yeah, I get it.
It was a mad signing. Belly Visual says the team's not good enough. Facts, regardless, Ollie in or out. Rashford had another stinker again. He's slightly better player than Daniel James. People like to bring up numbers, but what are those numbers in games like
Come
this?
on, honestly.
Here he goes.
Ding ding ding.
Like, I won't. People just say like bias for Rashford, but if you look at like Dan James in terms of actual ability compared to all three of Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood, he's nowhere close. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing to Dan James. He has his role in the team, but to say he's as good as Rashford, people just have such a ridiculous agenda against Rashford. He was useless today. I said he was. I said him and Bruno were our worst two players, but people just go overboard. You don't score back-to-back 20-plus goal seasons if you're shit, and people seem to suddenly think like numbers don't matter, but if you're scoring back-to-back 20-plus goal seasons, it has to count for something. Dan James isn't going to score 20-plus goals across 4 seasons.
Kalash says, yeah, we'll come to Jack. Kalash says, whenever I see this team play against the top teams, it really seems like this team is not coached well. Simply not drilled front to back. And Leo says, no offensive players do well in big games because Ollie sets up to counter. It doesn't matter if we played days before. I don't see the progress with Ollie from this point. The Boogeyman says, don't forget. The Boogeyman says, don't forget Lindelof got Ollie the job. And Maguire, 80 million captain, hard to drop. I feel bad for Obayi. I agree with you, KG. Don't forget them favours. And Darshan says, don't understand why we are blaming our draws against the Big Six. As it's better than not winning against West Brom, Sheffield United, Leicester and Everton. Those 10 to 12 missed points. 100%.
That's where it is.
That's something. That's exactly, because if we did, that's what you do. If you do take care of the top 4 teams and just don't lose, but take care of the business everywhere else, you're all right. Jack, there's more super chats coming in, but you go, Jack, and I'll stack them up and we'll read them after.
Oh yeah, I just want to bring up because I saw KG tweet about it just straight after the game about the whole Bruno against the big clubs debate. And the fact that, like, because he hasn't had the greatest record, because he only scores against, the so-called lesser teams. I just wanted to know, like, kind of, Kev, what do you think about kind of Bruno's influence on the team? And do you think he does go missing in big games? I know you said teams have started to suss him out, but, like, just what are your thoughts in general?
I'll say one thing, Jack, right? The main thing at the minute for me, and I know some people will probably laugh because I'm not his biggest fan, but it's to do with all the off-field shit with Paul Pogba. It has just really hit home how much Manchester United have missed him, because Fernandes went through that little spell where, by his high standards, 3 or 4 or 5 games, he was pretty much anonymous. He was still in the team, still ticking along, but then Pogba decided to step up. And we had that run of games, didn't we? Pogba scored, was it the goal at West Ham?
Fulham, Burnley.
Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah.
And it was almost like the perfect kind of thing at that time. It was like, well, if Bruno's not on his game, then if Pogba is, if one of them's on the game, we've got a really good chance of winning. Whereas at the minute, I think there's too much pressure on Fernandes. But at the same time, I will maintain that I still believe he's, from my point of view and watching Manchester United, he's had just as much a bigger impact on Manchester United than Eric Cantona did. And I listened to your debate, KG, obviously commented on that as well. And, I said it a while ago, I still think that he's had a massive influence on every single player in that team. And that is priceless. We're talking work rate. You go back to the days of David Moyes, even under Jose Mourinho, players weren't running. Remember that game at Everton? And we were embarrassed. We were like, they didn't even put a shift in. The minute we've signed Fernandes, everybody is like, spring in your step. Everything he does is infectious and everybody wants to work just to be, on his level.
What people were missing as well, I know Fernandes didn't get his goals today, but the fact that we press so high up, you can't press if they don't press together. It's impossible. And Bruno was trying to close down the space. He was all over the place, but things weren't working. And I think the loss of Cavani hasn't been helpful to us because we played one style of football with Cavani in the team. We look up, whip the ball into Cavani, something. Now that's been taken away. I don't think we saw a real Shaw whipping.
We haven't got a
up.
focal point up front. Martial's been out for. Mason's not used to playing there. Rashford shouldn't play there. We don't have when he's not there now. We have not got a focal point.
Well, we set ourselves up. Sorry, Kev.
You go for it, man.
A lot of our game was set up. We actually played to Cavani, which is funny. Like when we had, funny enough, when we had Lukaku, we refused to make Lukaku the focal point of our team.
Yeah,
and play to him. But we brought in Cavani, and our whole game is based around a solid number 9. Now that number 9 is gone, we're actually feeling the issues from not having him, and it's probably making Bruno have to probably reestablish the way we move the ball in this team, which is quite difficult. So there's
games,
100%. And we're not taking our back to you, Kev.
I was just going to say, I mean, people are in the comment section saying, have United progressed? And that's what you would say under Solskjaer. We've sat here in this fan forum after going to Liverpool, who were champions last year, and we were all disappointed that we drew 0-0. Again, we're disappointed today. We've gone to Stamford Bridge. We don't have a great record there. We're disappointed. It's on the reflection of games. United are not that far off. We need to sign players. We all know that. The focal point of our team should be the striker. We know that when Cavani plays, he's absolutely quality. We build everything around him. So if you look ahead to the summer and think, imagine, and I'm not saying that United would, because I wouldn't trust Ed Woodward to get it done, but let's just say Solskjaer manages to pull off bringing in, say, Haaland, right? If we pull in, I wouldn't even sign a centre-back. I'd go with Eric Bailly at centre-back as well. And then if we're looking at like a Grealish or a Sancho, if he still wants to go for him, if you just add 3 players into our strongest starting 11, you are starting to turn them matches like at Anfield that we drew 0-0, today 0-0, that extra spark, that would make a huge difference. Imagine Haaland at the tip of that, Bruno Fernandes in behind. But in theory, we played today with a false number 9.
Yeah.
Without actually playing that tactic.
I'm going to read these super chats and then come to Jay. Baz10 says, Greenwood off before James was embarrassing to me. I know Dan James puts a shift in, but what does he offer going forward? I don't know. I think in today's game, he was really important to how we were pressing and how we actually kept getting in Chelsea's faces, to be fair. Very disciplined. Chris Pankhurst says, United should have won today. Bad team selection and no tactical subs. Van der Beek and Ahmad should have started. That was never going to happen. Or played the second half. Need to buy at least 4 positions ASAP. New manager in May, even if Ollie gets top 4, says Lewis Webb. Really ruthless from Lewis.
And then you just start back from square one, and in 2 years' time, we're talking about the exact same thing.
Kevin,
if we finish second, that's progression, is it not?
Yeah.
I know there might be a bit of distance between us and Man City, which is looking at the minute, which kills you, but you would say that was progression.
Apart from Cavani, he didn't really get anyone last season, so we're basically using the same team as last season. So that's the thing. Okay. And it's the same what happened with Jose.
The boogeyman says Kevin
and that's it.
Is spitting facts. Mason says Cavani plays today, and I bet we win. I agree, we're not that far off, so a little bit of positivity coming through there. Canadian Red Devil says never been Ollie out, but these Jose Van Solskjaer performances need to stop. Really clever there. I like that. Solskjaer Van. Oh no, what is it? Jose Van Solskjaer. I like that. Needs to stop. He needs to be more brave and go for teams that are there for the taking. And Nate H says, so Dan James ran hard, so he was brilliant. Come on. All right, cool, fair enough. Not saying, basically saying he was crap.
In the K one as well, K had I'll read it actually.
Yeah.
Bruno's average position against the top 6 within his own half. Playing McFred isn't helping. The amount of touches Magaluf had got me fuming. Is that the new one, Magaluf? Is that what everyone's
when Mark was saying it, I thought, right, we're allowed to travel again. And then I realised that he was talking about Lindelof and Maguire. Jay, come through.
Okay, first of all, I want to pick up on the Bruno Fernandes point. Game was over. The camera, as it always does after games, it pans in on the players. Some of our players are high-fiving and hugging the opposition. Do you see that? Bruno, then it pans to Bruno. Bruno's face, he looked like a bulldog chewing a wasp. Meanwhile, his teammates are hugging the opposition. I'm sorry, but that is just not good enough. You've drawn away to a team that could possibly challenge you to finish second, and you're high-fiving and hugging. Bullshit. I don't accept that. Bruno Fernandes today, guys, if you watch it back, which I'm not going to because I couldn't put myself through it, he was coming back deep so many times.
He was coming deep. I did notice
take
that
the ball so many times today because he knows full well, and we all know it. It's blatant. Neither Fred or McTominay have the passing range to play the ball through the lanes and feed Bruno Fernandes. You got to come back from deep to win the ball. Even back to the time Zlatan Ibrahimovic, when he was playing for us, he'd come back from deep because our midfield could not feed him the ball. Look, so you said there about a false nine. Yeah, Bruno is our quasi-false nine. He is, let's be fair. But I don't think we have the coaching staff or the players to properly play a false nine system. Bruno sets up in his 4-2-3-1. We know that's his default setting. But it seems to revert into a false nine. But we definitely do not have the players with the guile and creativity to play a false nine. To pick up on Kevin's point, Kevin said that he'd love to see Jack Grealish. I would take Jack Grealish at United every day of the week and twice on Sunday. But guys, how many of you have confidence in the board that'll ever happen?
Nah,
Can you imagine Grealish on the left running the show? And to just think, okay, today, guys, everyone's going on about Dan Graham's. Oh, he was great. James is great. He ran about. He tracked back. He got one cross in the box. So is that the standard now that we're setting?
Today,
he was poor.
Nothing.
Yeah, Rashford
he was poor. He was very poor. Look, guys, I'm a Rashford fan. Rashford today was very poor.
He was, yeah.
So it is now the level of the fan base for our winger. Track back, put tackles in, run around. He put one cross in the box the whole game, guys. So is that the level that we now espouse to for our wingers? There was no way Amendola was going to start or get minutes. I think any thoughts on Diallo getting game time? He might get cameos 5-10 minutes here and there to now the end of the season. But towards the end of the game, I think it was the 80th or 85th minute, Luke Shaw won the ball, fed Fred. Fred did his second through ball in the last 3 games. The through ball went through to Scott McTominay. Right? And I was thinking, go on, Scott, knock it in. But if that's Donny van de Beek receiving that ball, I think we get a better end product. I felt Scott McTominay after 70 minutes, he looked tired, he looked leggy because he's just back from injury. And that's on the manager. Get him off, bring on Donny van de Beek. But, you know, our Solskjaer simply is not putting the round pegs in the round holes when it's necessary. And I said at the start of the show, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, just quickly, Zach Benson says, I disagree. It's not progression. Jose finished second, miles off City, and was in the Champions League. Jose had to go. But 2+ years, no trophies, and we are no better in the league. Maybe we define progress differently.
Oh, that's a lie. That's a lie, Zach. We're better. Points-wise, we are better. We can't deny it. And then even the amount of goals scored, we're the...
I was going to say, can we get into then... I'm not trying to stir the pot, but just on what Zach said.
Stir the pot, bruv.
What is say the bits of our progression? Like list the bits.
Okay.
You know, people have really differing opinions on this. Basically saying that, hold on, we might be letting Ollie get away with one if we finish second with no trophy. And then I know Alex said he got to go again. To be fair, then it got toxic, but that was 3 years ago now. Like we need to be in a better position. So are we in a better position?
Let's go. I'm gonna ask Donny van der Jack. Jack. Are we?
It's so difficult to say because, like, I think if we're looking at this now, having this chat, when understandably the impact Bruno Fernandes has had at the club, but I want to bring him up again. If we didn't have Bruno Fernandes in our team, I know Paul Pogba's still there, and I know, we've got the Rashford Green with Martial thing going forward, but I just feel like if we didn't have Bruno, I would be massively concerned. And in terms of progression, is one signing, like one marquee signing has got us where from the Jose? I understand the point that Zach's made, but Jose is a short-term manager anyway. Like most clubs, he goes in, then he comes out after 2-3 seasons. He won't be in 2-3 years' time, even if he makes it that long, he won't be at Spurs. He would have left, and it's a short-term kind of vision. Do I feel like we've progressed? Me personally, probably not. No, probably. I understand what you're saying, KG, about the points.
Fine. That's fine.
But I just think ultimately you're judged. Well, my personal view, you're judged on trophies, and I do think he badly needs a trophy this year. I know the top 4 thing, but I know Alex brings it up. Like an FA Cup or Europa League win is badly needed at this football club now.
Let me go to Alex. Alex, because I know you're quite positive. What would you say? What's the list? Is there a list of things that he's done to progress this team?
Number one, the Jose team and the Ollie team are like completely different now, player for player. We're such a young team under Ollie, but I feel like Jose and Ollie both got shafted in the same way by the Glazers in the sense of Jose after that. I think it was after the coming second.
He wanted a centre back.
Where he got,
he wanted Koulibaly.
Yeah, and he even wanted Maguire at one point as a last resort, but then he got that Fred, who he didn't play, clearly wasn't like his first choice signing in anything, and Delo and Lee Grant. And then now, so that was the season that he wanted to build on and really go for it. He got screwed over. Then now it's Ollie's turn. We just get Champions League. We really want to build on it. We know we need a right winger. Chase Sancho all summer unrealistically, and then just end up with Van der Beek, who clearly wasn't Ollie's signing. I'm sorry, if it was, then he would have given him more of a chance. Cavani, who we got on a free right at the very end of the season, he's turned out that it was a brilliant signing, and I am really happy we got Cavani. But that just seemed like they were panicking, and they know that all the fans would have kicked off about Sancho.
And he's
so
injured
like,
now.
Oh, who can we bring in that's a big name? Because Cavani was obviously going to appease the fans because of what a massive name he is.
And just to jump in there, yeah, can you imagine if we didn't bring Cavani in, there would have been no one, because right now it's just Ahmad.
They would have extended Igalo.
And Ahmad came in January.
That is, if there was no Cavani, it literally would have just been Ahmad and Pelestri, wherever that kid is.
And Tellez as well, but Tellez doesn't play.
And Tellez. Yeah. So you're not even... That's
exactly.
crazy.
He's got shafted. He's used in the same team. I fully understand why people are annoyed, but he hasn't got a complete team. And we're literally using, apart from Cavani, we're using the same team as last season. And like I said, so most of the people that hate Ollie are massive Jose fans, but Jose got shafted in the same way. It just goes back to the owners and people. We have spent badly in the past. Like we obviously overspent with Maguire, but
Liverpool
score.
Yeah. Wait. Why is it still saying 0-0 then? What's happened? The ball's in the net.
VAR.
Oh, right.
What's going on? Is Liverpool winning or losing? I'm not watching.
They scored an own goal. Something madness happened, but it's not a goal. It's not a goal.
But yeah, so they were both in the situations that they weren't back, but it happened. And if we get second, we'll be in the exact same position. I know we will by the end of the summer, because you're already seeing the stuff. Whenever we get Champions League, we always don't spend, and you're already hearing the news trickling out saying like, oh yeah. Man United aren't targeting Sancho necessarily because of COVID. They're really struggling. They want to be smart. Don't expect all these like big like over £60 million signings. If you've seen those reports, that they're trickling in, and it's just they're trying to temper expectations already. And maybe no one will spend big. Obviously, Chelsea did last season, but I just feel if we get Champions League, they'll be like, oh, this team's clearly good enough to get Champions League again the following season, so they won't spend again. Let
me just drop this in. Joskian says, with Jose, and someone might have to check this, but I'm going to believe him because it's funny, and I think it was third part. Joskian says, with Jose, we finished second with 81 points. This season, the best we can get is 86 points, only if we win every single game. Huge progress.
That's a great point.
Wow,
that was a great point.
No, but
Jose's average teammate was so much older than this.
Hold on, Alex, hold on. Forget the average team of the guys. Just think of the results of progression. He says we finished with 81 points and finished second. If we win every single game from now to the end of the season, which includes beating City, which looks a bit nuts right now, and we have to play Liverpool again, the best we can get is 86 points. I make that with my maths 5 points better off if we win every single game. Only if we win every single game. He said, huge progress with the sarcastic face. Has he got a point?
Come on, guys. Come on, like you
said everyone was saying the seasons. Everyone was saying the seasons were different. I'm just asking a question.
I hear what he's done. But there needs to be some.
What does there need to be? What does there need to be? Facts.
No, I hear what he's done, but we have to colour it in. There's shades of grey, bro. Remember what Jose was to this club.
Jay likes it. Jay's here for that.
Jay can like it all he likes, bro. I remember what Jose, the sleepless nights I had. Yeah, I'm never gonna forgive him.
What, are you sleeping well right now? All the semi-finals going out.
Still comment, yeah. Any manager, let Ollie try that shit. yeah, I'm done. You lot.
So what, are we playing? So what? Are you entertained by the way we play now? Then
I think we score more goals than we had.
That wasn't what I asked you. I said, are you entertained?
It's more entertaining to watch. It's more entertaining under Oli than Jose.
100%.
Jose,
guys, did we play better football? Did we play better football now?
Let's see.
Yeah, I prefer to
marginally.
You know what Jose was to do, bro? Jose was trying
even Alex said marginally.
Drop Pogba. Jose dropped Pogba for Fellaini. You know, don't forget that. That's the kind of shit that Jose was trying to do, bro. All these people that love your Marshall, you will never see him under Jose, bro.
He tried to swap him for Willian.
Why to sell him?
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now, we're not going back in time and pretending that Jose was a good thing for this club. He didn't even buy a house in Manchester, bro. Man was living in a damn hotel. Do you think that's someone that's here for a long stay, bro? Don't piss me off.
Exactly my point.
No, bro. No. Every time people do this Jose shit, pisses me off, bro. Anyway, I'm never forgiving him for that, you know.
Evan says Jose had 81 points, second Europa and League Cup.
So what?
But a certain seasons.
Well, guys, stop getting rattled. I'm just reading the
merging it together, bro.
But a certain legend is progressing as we move though with the vibes. The
I don't even care if you hate. I don't care if you hate what you call it. Like if you hate Oli and stuff, and you think Oli needs to go, there's probably a better manager in the world. I don't know who he is yet, but are you willing to reset the clock? That's what I'm asking the fans, because there's whoever comes in next is gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4 are not my style of players. I need to change it. Then you want to wait for our board to go and make those changes. You lot know, we know, it's not gonna happen. So
that's a very valid point, KG, because we talk about the whole Pochettino thing. Would Pochettino come in with this team and do any better? That's the question. No, I don't think he would.
But he'll still have the same problems because he's still working under the Glazers.
Exactly.
He's not going to get the transfer targets he wants.
Is Oli getting the best out of this squad?
No, I think he get more out of them.
Hold on. We have to look at that. That's a great question. That's a great question.
But you have to go player for player.
Let's go to Jay. Jay, is Oli getting the best out of this club?
Okay, first thing, I want to rewind the clock to Mourinho just one tiny bit. I would argue, and I put it to the free seats, we should have got Jose in 2013 when Ferguson left, because he was still peak Jose Mourinho. That's when we should have got him. But instead, and this has always been my opinion, guys, you can flip me if you want, I believe Ferguson put Moyes in to solidify his own legacy. I want a title with this aging 11. Look what I can win with this aging 11. Let me see. Let me put in a journeyman manager that's won fuck all as the manager, and you'll see how good I was. And then gave a speech, respect your manager. Remember that speech?
Back manager.
Ferguson knew there and then, if Jose Mourinho came in there, then had been given 100 mil, normal service would have been resumed. That's my opinion, guys. You can slate me if you want.
Jay is definitely Roy Keane's brother.
That's my opinion. I've always believed that. Okay.
Now, saying that.
I have heard that before.
We need to unpack what you just did just now, because you did a madness.
Go ahead.
Literally. So you're saying that Fergie in some way sabotaged us to make himself look good, to be remembered. Can we really believe that, Jay? I just want.
What I'm saying is he. Okay. What CEO of a company, any company, gets to appoint the successor? It doesn't happen. Okay, so I believe Ferguson in 2013, he won that title because we got the gift that Arsenal will give us. They'll give us another gift. We got Van Persie, and Van Persie had a season of his life. We won a title, won it well, and we deserve to win it.
I don't believe that.
Jose come in 2013. Jose comes in 2013. Even with that squad, I think he could still have probably won a title for us.
I'm not having it.
Okay, I didn't use the word sabotage. I used the word to solidify his own legacy. That's the word. That's the phrase I used. And I believe that 100%.
Why would he bring in? He gave them league winners. He gave them even a brand new Zaha. Zaha was like a player that was a prospect. Then you have a Robin van Persie, and you still have Rio. You have Rio Vidic.
Nah, they were finished, mate. Jay is right.
They were done. No, Ria was done. Let's be fair, Ria was done. But I know we're going to talk about
Crystal
history.
Palace and held bench after that.
Yeah, but listen, right? A lot of people watching mightn't remember what happened during that era as clearly as we all do. But guys, we know what happened with Zaha and Moyes and a member of Moyes' family. We won't even go into that. And we lost Zaha. Let's just say I'm going to choose my word carefully here.
He dropped a lot of
We lost Zaha. We lost Zaha for certain events that may or may not have happened off the pitch. Okay?
Very carefully,
We don't know. We don't know.
I said may or may not.
Allegedly.
One of the first things Moyes did when he came in was get rid of all Ferguson's backroom staff.
Idiot.
Gun to your head. It's over. Okay. Idiot. Now, to the question you asked me, I'm sorry, I had to go back over to Joe's thing. So anyway, question you asked me. I forgot. What was the question? I went off on a tangent.
Just quickly, before I give you the question again, Jay, just to let the viewers know, we're going to be going to 20 past. I think we're entering into a really meaty bit of conversation here where actually we're going to be really honest. If people need to kind of drop out because they've got stuff to do that. But with the stream, we're going to be going on till 20 past as well. So you lot know in the free seats at home as well. All you viewers know. Smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. We're going to 20 past 8 because I feel like we're getting into some serious territory. Jay, I'm just going to read out these super chats.
Tell people to like and subscribe though, please.
100%. Yeah, make sure you lot like and subscribe. We are, I think 6 and a bit K off of 1 million subscribers. You lot know what to do. And Dills says, Cavani injury record will mean that he won't be a meaningful signing. Today's application by our forwards and midfield was the worst. So tough to blame Ollie. Asasi says, you're wrong, Jay. We know Moyes was his fourth choice after he was rejected by Pep and Ancelotti, and Bobby Charlton and the board rejected Mourinho. Corey Lineker says, all caps Corey inside. What evidence could Ollie possibly show us to suggest he's up for this job between now and May? Brian says, even if Ollie had Haaland, Sancho, a CDM and centre-back, individual brilliance would still keep him in the job as it has until now.
I hate the argument.
His coaching is rubbish. Vignes says, no manager has come into Chelsea. New manager has come into Chelsea. It's been only 3 weeks and we can see their style of football. After 2 years, I have no idea what our style of football is. It's concerning. Next one here is from AJ Singh. We are only second place because of Bruno. He will only be with us for another year with these mediocre tactics. World-class players want titles, not progress. Great work, guys. De Gea in. Drop mic. Nate H says, we've read that one from Nate. And then there's another one here. Let me just scroll down to that one. That's Brian. We've already read that one. Jay, the question I asked originally was, is Ollie getting enough out of the squad?
Okay. I'll answer this in one simple sentence. The very fact that he fails to start Eric Bailly at the back when we know exactly what Bailly is capable of, and the fact that we were to play 10 metres higher up the pitch when Bailly plays, I would say, no, he's not. That is one. I said earlier on, guys, you put the round pegs in the round holes. Well, the most roundest peg we have is Eric Bailly to start when fit. Solskjaer isn't doing that. So my answer is no.
All right, let's wait. Kev, have you answered that question?
Oh, I was going to sound like Jane. I was saying, what was the question again?
Is Ollie getting the best out of the squad?
No. That would be the simple answer. He's not getting the best out of the squad. We can't beat around the bush and say that. You look at the wide players today, right? And I said, in effect, we're playing with a false number 9 because we did not have a Cavani or somebody as a target man. You've got Rashford, Greenwood, whoever playing out left-hand side. And if you're going to coach them and take them to one side and try and turn them into wingers, the least they can do as a winger is put a ball into the box. And how often do you see them players do it? It's not very often. And I'm going to go totally back on my point here and even say, do you know what? If we signed Haaland in the summer, would it make any difference having that focal point? Because would we tap into, his attributes, whipping balls in left and right? Greenwood and Rashford are no Giggs and Beckham, are they? We've been spoilt down the years, but you knew exactly what you were getting from them two on the left, the right. They trap back, back up the fullbacks,
And
and by
Rashford's
God,
got a
they
lot
should
of
drop.
today. It's hard to defend Rashford today because it's a terrible performance. But he's got a lot of assists. He does whip the ball in. Like he can find a strike. He can find an assist. So I still believe that if you put a Haaland in there, he'd do well with that.
No,
I
but
don't
as Alex
think-
says, like Rashford's been on a good scoring run. Like he's on 18 goals this season. Like he's still going to get 20 plus goals. It's a contribution to the team. Martial, on the other hand, in terms of goal contributions this season, hasn't been the same player that he was last.
And I think the media are trying to prep us for a Martial exit. Because have you seen there's been quite a few articles and quite a few bits on swap deals and this, that, and the other. So don't be surprised. We heard rumblings of De Gea Henderson. We heard some rumblings there. Someone's gonna go at the end of the season. Yeah, it's probably gonna be Henderson because you can't sell De Gea because no one's picking up that contract. No one's picking up.
Aziz says Oli has done a lot to improve mentality, work rate, which is something that Jose failed to do. It's easier to improve on tactics.
There you go.
I'll just say one thing, Flex. Sorry, very, very, very briefly here, right?
Yeah.
We talk about Solskjaer and his man management compared to Mourinho. A lot of people say Mourinho, there's a better man management. There's a player at Manchester United at the minute that's having the season of his life. And Mourinho practically bullied him, thinking that would get the best out of him. And that was Luke Shaw. I will totally commend Solskjaer on the way he has treated Luke Shaw, because for me, it's not hard to look at Luke Shaw and go, this is a lad that needs an arm round his neck. And you need to say, build his confidence up. The way that Mourinho carried on with Luke Shaw, it was nothing short of bullying. It was shocking. And you're never going to get the best out of a player like that, are you?
He would have sold Rashford. I'm telling you.
Eventually. Remember that time? Remember that time when he went to the bench? They wouldn't allow him. They wouldn't let him.
Yeah, exactly.
When he missed and he turned around.
He turned to the bench.
And he's like, look how fit he is.
But that's why Jose would always go before. That would never happen.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't let him do it. Just like they didn't let him sell Martial at the time. Do you know what I mean? He wanted to sell Martial. My thing is this year, you see, also when boxers come up in a certain era, yeah, and there's just other champs that are it's peak that you are in this era. And in tennis, it's Federer and Djokovic and that, and Nadal. Like what? Sorry, it's just a bit crowded right now. Like if Andy Murray was not in that era of tennis players, he would win a lot more majors. I feel like with Oli, when I say about the ceiling, I feel like he might have reached his ceiling because the level's so high. Not just
he's
because
getting to a lot of semis though.
Hold on. Well, so did Tim Henman.
Tim Henman was dead, fam.
Tim Henman.
KG, question for you.
Don't use that.
KG,
He's getting to a lot of semi-finals.
Hang on, KG.
What do you want, Ollie Hill? Do you want Ollie Hill? Do you want Ollie Hill outside Old Trafford?
Right?
I'm waiting. I don't know. I'm getting sandwich. I don't know who to listen to.
One simple question. You're going on there about semis.
Yeah.
What is sport about? What's it about?
Winning.
So why the fuck are you going on about semis then?
No, because you have to.
Semis isn't trophies.
No, you have to get there. The killer is you have to get there.
Yeah, but you have to win. No one cares about semi-finalists. No one even cares about finalists if you lose.
I'm agreeing. Listen, I'm with you guys. You need to get over the hill with Klopp. I'm not saying Oli. I hate even doing this. I'm not saying Oli and Klopp are anywhere in likeness, but Klopp was always getting there and not winning. Now we this is going to be our sixth. If we beat Leicester on the weekend, this is our sixth semi-final. We have to win surely at one stage. Now, there's times where we haven't even got there. We ain't even getting to the party, bro. Can't get dressed, ain't got clothes, not moving out, bro. We used to be before, bro. Now we're at least saying, you know what, we're gonna go out. We score, maybe we don't. That's the difference. This team, was on its face. This team was an embarrassment. And I remember there was a meme that went around and said, we didn't even we was trying to choose a player that we liked in this team. We didn't like anyone. Do you not remember that? Because I remember that.
Yeah.
But that's not what the argument is. No, what I'm saying is,
so what Oli
he has done those things. He has done those things.
There you go. So you can't.
But
now
to be
it's not important.
No, I'm not saying he hasn't done those things. But what my question is are those things enough to kick on into the realms of fighting against the level that you need to reach? That's my question. I don't disregard the fact that the team was on its arse. I don't disrespect that Ollie put his arm around players and made them smile again. I don't disrespect the fact that Ollie brought the average age of the team down.
Yep.
The signings that we got have been impactful. Wan-Bissaka's improving. Bruno's generational. Harry Maguire is captain.
Look at everything you're saying. Look at everything you're saying.
No, that's fine.
Wait, no, because I'm with you. Taking Alex's point, though, with everything you're saying, they still giving him nothing. That's the rawness. So they still giving the same squad that he had before. He wanted Grealish. We all know that. Now we all know that he wanted Grealish. And they said, you know what? Have the B-Tech version. Here you go. Here's Donny van der Beek.
Nothing wrong with a B-Tech.
Nothing wrong with the B-Tech. Everyone's got one. Big up yourself. I've got one. That's how I got into uni. Anyway, the main point is that he wanted players. He wanted a centre back. Did he get a centre back? Absolutely not. He wanted a striker. He wanted Haaland. He even went across. He went on a private jet to go and speak to Haaland. Did he get him? Absolutely not.
And he still wouldn't sign. And he used to be his manager. Why?
You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was. I think there's money issues. I honestly think there's money issues, guys, because he's not getting backed. They said if you get into the top four, the what do you call it? I've got a war kitty. Where is Ed Woodward's war kitty? It's gone. What happened? Why's Jroti done that?
It's me.
People just expect as well us to win like every game. I'm sorry, but Fergie wouldn't even win the league with this team. The City just don't drop points. They like don't even draw.
Yeah, but I'm just going to pinpoint the two semi-finals from last season. It's Jay's point. If we're talking about Ollie as a tactical coach, the Sevilla game and the Chelsea game last season, we, with the squad, forget about getting other players in and this and that. He didn't have these resources. That Sevilla game should have been dead and buried. We should have won that game.
But that one wasn't Ollie's fault because we absolutely dominated.
No. But Alex, don't you agree that if we bring in all these top players, is Ollie capable? This is just a question. I'm not stirring up. I'm playing devil's advocate. If we bring in these top players and flex, if we get given the kind of cash injection, is Ollie going to take us to that next level?
Right, well, that's a big question.
We'll never know until he gets the players. You saw when Pep first came into City.
No, I know.
He came fourth and then he got more of his players. But it's like he bought in Bravo. Bravo was shit, so he just sold him, bought in a new player. But Ollie doesn't have that luxury. And obviously, Ollie, as a tactician, isn't anywhere close to Pep. But we don't know how he'll be until he beats the squad. That midfield today, like they're good squad players, but come on, they're absolute like shit as a unit. And like neither of them can pass. It's not like a high quality midfield.
Look at this, yeah. No one can deny it. Has Ruben Diaz gone in and made Man City a better team? 100%. They're talking about him being the player of the season. Yeah, we've seen what Bruno's done. Now we just saying bored, like, and I know you lot keep saying we spent over 360 million. So we need to buy players. That's the bottom line is everyone when they talk about when we spend money, I think they break it down from the time. Is that Ollie that spent all that money? Or you talking
they do it from
all these managers.
You go way back.
Yeah, you're talking about money I never spent. So I honestly feel that we can, what Bruno's done, we can bring in another person in the defensive position that can be as important. Because Ruben Diaz has changed that team.
But how much did they spend before they found their Ruben Diaz?
Liverpool. Exactly. We knew that Liverpool were a couple signings away. They said they needed a goalkeeper, they needed a centre back. What did they do? They went and got those things.
No, yeah.
It doesn't change. Klopp is still quality, but they needed those things. Without Klopp getting that, he doesn't win.
Exactly.
Look at them now.
Guys, if you look today at that Chelsea bench today, I would argue Kurt Zuma, Pulisic walk into our team. And would you pick Werner over Martial? That's debatable. So no, it's debatable. It's debatable. But if there's at least two or three players, there's about 2 or 3 players like Kurt Zuma, I would argue, and Pulisic walk into our first 11.
But
in
not
my
if
opinion.
Not if Bailly's fit, but over Lindelof, I'd say.
Okay, just imagine. Just give it Kurt Zuma and Bailly over Lindelof and Maguire. That's a better back. That's a better pairing straight away. But it goes back to the point that you raised, KG. Mm-hmm. You said that we needed a Bruno signing. We discussed in January in the transfer window that we needed a Bruno signing a centre back, and I said it's sabotage on behalf of the board if we don't get one. Yeah. And here we are, 3 months later, talking about sabotage from the board for not getting centre back.
There we go. We're here, and it's such a shame because once again, the board are going to get away with it. This is the part that pisses me off the most. The board, we're all focused on Ollie, and Ollie should be focused on at times because he is culpable. For some, if Ollie doesn't get a trophy, he can't do enough. Because basically this is the breakdown. The Glazers are not going to spend. Can you be successful with these parameters? That's the question. And now if Ollie's probably answering the question and saying, if he wins nothing, no, I can't. That's not changing. Glazers not changing. Can you get a manager that can play in these constraints? You have to look for it, probably.
And this isn't an excuse, but since we've got Ollie, the teams we've drawn in all these competitions every single time has been an absolute joke. If you look at all the other teams, like the runs they get. No, it is true. If you see Mourinho when he won those 2 trophies, the teams we faced, you think Ollie couldn't beat all of those teams. We're getting Liverpool, we're getting Wolves so many times, we've got Chelsea so many times, we've got Leicester now, we had Everton. It's ridiculous. We always get in the domestic cups.
We're Man United though. If we're Man United, we're going to say what?
But some
what? Come.
Do need Zlatan,
AC Milan, what? Come.
We don't get these throwaway games that we can play all our reserves in, whereas City can just rest their whole team, and then so that their first team's fit for the Premier League. We have to play our first team every time.
I hear you.
Read the secret.
Something just been really annoying me. You see Zlatan, Eric Bailly. If Ollie does not start, Eric Bailly, home and away against them, I might say, I might say it if he doesn't start by.
He's not going to start him. I'm saying he might as well say it now. He might as well say it now because he's not going to start him.
Okay. Flex.
Yo.
What's your forfeit when Bailly doesn't start against Ibrahimovic?
No, I can't get a forfeit because I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying Ollie better not mess it up and not do it. You're right. Like the Lindelof Maguire thing, like I said at the beginning of the show, the pre-game show with Mark, I said I've given up moaning. Where's Bailly? Why is he not? I just know. Nana says, I'm so glad that some of you guys have admitted that Ollie isn't good enough for the job. Oh, who's admitted that?
You did. You just said it today, bro.
Who said what? I asked questions. That's what I did.
Do you guys think, as a question, that it was something I thought of earlier? I can't think if it was a comment or something, but that's just reminded me again. You know how Fergie always changed up his assistant manager and stuff? Do you think maybe Ollie should have a look at maybe bringing someone else in to help with stuff?
1 second.
100% yes.
Alex, are you Ollie's son?
No, I'm just honestly, I'm sick and tired. Growing up on Fergie through my whole life, having one manager. I don't want to be a club like Chelsea. Different clubs are run different ways. I want to have one manager and just stick with them for a long time. And you can say Alex,
modern. Does it exist?
I think it can.
Unless you're winning.
If you pick
loads.
the right one, with Liverpool, it will exist with Klopp. With City, it will exist with Pep. I think if we lose out, if Ollie isn't the right one, then we should bring in Nagelsmann because I think he would potentially be a tactically astute long-term manager that we could have for years. But I just want a long-term manager.
Callum Turner says, I seriously hope Martial was going to score when coming on. We roll in the deal over.
He did it already.
No. It's a rollover. There's no winners. There's no winners. National Lottery Saturday night rollover. That's what it's going to be.
There's no rollover, bro. Wait, once again, there's more super chats as well. So Dan James ran hard, so he's brilliant. Come on.
Yeah, we read that one.
All right, cool. Do we do this one, Lewis? Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah. Leo, Callum, yeah. The last couple of minutes of the show, actually, guys. This is the last couple of minutes. Smash a like on Smash a like on the video. You lot know what to do. Subscribe if you're new. We're getting close to that 1 milli. We're nearly there, man. That's what a day that's going to be. Belly Visual says, regarding Ollie buying his own players, or the board buying, if you ain't buying the right players to play a system, it won't work. Prime example, Barcelona, Bayern and City. Another manager comes, the transition will be smooth. It's the way the clubs are run. And,
they have directors of football, though, to ensure
exactly,
that.
that's what I'm saying, that the structure of the clubs. Bardia says, why should we not rewind the clock if the path we're on leads to nothing but mediocrity? And
man, I can't do another.
Mourinho won Europa with Fellaini,
and I can't do another.
I'm not saying that because Luke Shaw wasn't that.
I know.
There's loads more super chats.
Liverpool score, by the way.
Flex got it right when he said we play like a bunch of individuals, not well drilled by a group, by a technical manager. Colin Murphy says. And Nick Harrington says, have we forgot how toxic the club was under Jose? Ollie has got the dressing room on side and created a good feeling around the club again. Project ongoing.
No.
And I think that's what these
the ball is, bro. If you see the life that Liverpool are getting, the ball goes behind. Actually, we had a chance like that the other day.
Just quickly, last couple of minutes. Who was your man of the match? Go around the room.
Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw.
Dan James.
Oh, they just scored. Dan James.
Oh.
I feel like he goes behind the line, but it's cool.
Who else?
I'd agree on Dan James.
Okay, I went with Dan James.
I'll always maintain technically not the
That's
greatest player in the world, but you know what you're getting from him. I thought he put in the right shift today.
I went with
a lot of
Wan-Bissaka.
defensive work.
I did.
Wan-Bissaka didn't have a good game today.
I thought he did.
I thought
That ball's gone out. That ball's gone out.
That's what I was saying, but there you go. But then
They gave it.
They gave it.
What?
We are so unfortunate with VAR right now, you know. I blame Klopp. Klopp did this. Look at that. Wait, it's nice.
Oh, no, it's not out.
It's in.
It's in. Well done, Trent. Right, guys, you know what? On that note, we are out of here. We've finished.
We are safe.
It's football, innit? It does mad stuff to you. Smash a like on the video. We are going to be back on, me and KG will be back on Tuesday night. Wednesday night, we have a game as well against Crystal Palace. Awkward team to play against away. They're not doing very well, but they're just Palace, innit? You just never know Palace. And then we go into the big one against City. So a big week for Man United to keep up pace. Let's see what we got to do. Guys, we are out of here. Peace.
Peace.